We have breaking news from the NFL where Jerry Jones promised something big and he delivered this afternoon, acquiring defensive lineman Quinnen Williams from the New York Jets. It's the second move of the day for the Cowboys after getting Logan Wilson from the Bengals this morning. And it's the second massive trade today for the Jets after trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts earlier today. Now the Jets get a 2027 first rounder in this trade, as well as a 2026 second round pick and defensive tackle Mazi Smith. Let's welcome in our Cowboys reporter, Garrett Podell. Garrett, great to see you. The day starts with Logan Wilson coming over to Dallas from the Bengals, and then most recently, Dallas acquiring Quinnen Williams from the Jets. So from your perspective, just tell us about how it all went down with all of these big moves that Jerry Jones had promised last night after that loss to the Cardinals.
Yeah, Jaclyn, great to join you here from the Star in Frisco, the Cowboys facility. And I would say I was a little skeptical last night. I was standing behind Jerry Jones post-game after their Monday Night Football loss against the Arizona Cardinals. And he said, look, I have a trade on the table. I'm leaning toward doing it. Now, a lot of people looked around, myself included, after they started the year allowing 30.8 points per game, the third time ever they've allowed over that number in their first 9 games. Their third down defense, 52.6%. That is the second highest ever tracking to be third down percentage allowed in the last 50 seasons out of only the 1982 Kansas City Chiefs. And many people thought, look, there's not really much Jerry can do to fix this defense. Logan Wilson for a 7th rounder. Okay, that's what he had loaded in the chamber. It'll upgrade from Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn, 2 guys who just haven't been good, whether it's Sanborn in coverage or Murray getting out of position in the run fits in the run game. But Quinnen Williams, that will make a difference. I mean, this pass rush, had been around league average or bottom 10 in the league in sacks, just 15 total sacks as a team. So getting one of the best interior defensive linemen in Quinnen Williams, I think could really make a difference for Dallas, both in the run game. They're a bottom 5 run defense and bottom 5 pass defense in terms of yardage allowed this season. And so I think this really does change the calculus for Dallas because even when Dallas had cornerback injuries in years past, but Micah Parsons was on the team, they were still number 1 in the league in quarterback pressure rate. And yes, Deron Bland is out there. Trayvon Diggs isn't. I think a lot more quarterback pressure rate can certainly make cornerbacks and safeties who've been banged up also for Dallas look a little bit better. And that's certainly what Jerry's banking on here.
Garrett, we just showed the playoff picture, and you saw the Cowboys, as you know, 3-5-1 on the outside looking in here. Our Sportsline crew gives the Cowboys an 8.8% chance of making the playoffs. So you have to think there's still a sense of being skeptical about them doing this. So ultimately, what is the sense in the building there as they're making these trades when the playoffs still kind of look a little bleak at this moment? But what is the vibe there around all of these moves?
I mean, the vibe, Jaclyn, that Jerry Jones conveyed to me and other media after the game last night was, we're going to be buyers and not sellers. That's exactly what he's done here. And he said, look, I like the, quote, nuts and bolts of our roster, meaning he looks at his personnel and he sees it as a team that in the wide open NFC in which both the Lions and Packers lost this past week, that this is a conference and that they can maybe make a playoff push. Dak Prescott said post-game last night in his press conference, he said, yeah, it's going to take a streak. We're going to need a winning streak. That's something we have to start right now. They're on the bye in week 10 this week, but then go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders on Monday Night Football in week 11. So Jerry Jones looked around and he's doubling down on his roster that he's built. He traded away Micah Parsons and has decided he's going to really go all in on the interior pass rush, getting Kenny Clark in that Parsons trade, and now Quinnen Williams. It's an interesting gamble. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, from one degree, which is the offense is a top 5 scoring offense. Entering this week 9 that just finished, Dak Prescott was top 5 in passing yards. Javonte Williams was top 5 in rushing yards. George Pickens was top 5 in receiving yards. And that trio was Dallas's first trio to be top 5 in each of their respective positions' yardage totals at this halfway point in the season since he had Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. So Jerry sees his quote-unquote triplets. That's not even including CeeDee Lamb, who missed 3 games with an ankle sprain. So Jerry's looking around saying, look how explosive my offense is. If I could just get a little bit more defense, maybe we could win some games. So that's certainly the bet that's being made here by Jerry Jones. And he said, look, we're buyers. He backed that talk up here this afternoon.
Garrett, one more question for you before we let you go. Jerry Jones, he said they were going to be buyers. As you mentioned, he promised a big splash. So can Cowboys fans kind of sit back and relax here down the stretch as 4 p.m. Eastern gets closer and closer? Or should they kind of be on edge, expecting any other move to happen?
I think it'd be possible for Cowboys fans to pull out a pina colada or Dr. Pepper. We're here in Texas. People love Dr. Pepper. It's a Texas brand. And relax because, Jerry Jones, he traded away, first-round draft pick compensation, traded away former first-round pick defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Those were probably really all the big cards he had to play here ahead of the trade deadline. He's not really going to make any offensive changes. Now, he could adjust some offensive line things in the offseason at right tackle, potentially Terrence Steele. That's a conversation for another day. But, yeah, I think it's safe to say here we're talking hour and 15 or so ahead of trade deadline here. I think we can relax until then.
All right, Cowboys fans. Yeah, sit back, relax, get your pina colada, and just chill out as we're down the stretch here, Garrett. We certainly appreciate it. Make sure you stay locked into CBS Sports HQ as we get closer and closer to that 4 p.m. Eastern trade deadline. We have all the news coming down, highlights, scores, and we are grading every single trade from the deadline right here on HQ.